Okay, let's go over the schedule one more time.
We've been over it 5 times already.
One more time, please.
I think you need to rethink this, Jason. It's too much to handle. Your mind will crack like an egg if you try to follow this schedule. It's madness, I tell you. Madness!
I would expect a puny mind like yours not to be able to comprehend what I plan to do, but I'll show you. I can accomplish this. No, I will accomplish this.
Puny mind.
Sorry, I got caught up in the moment. Okay, Gary, you call out the day and time, and I'll do the rest. Hey, jerks. Not now, Fundy. I've got to focus my mind, and you are the polar opposite of mental focus. You gotta think, huh? What about? Wait, do I really care what he's gotta think about? No, not really. Oh, you got a good point. Never mind.
Quiet! Jason has to get his schedule down. Gary and I have been helping him all morning.
What does he need a schedule for? I mean, what's hard about wake up, be a nerd, eat breakfast, be a nerd, afternoon, complain about Trump, and be a nerd? Heck, I even could do that. I wouldn't expect you to understand, Fundy, but I have missed nearly 8 months of sci-fi/fantasy entertainment. 8 months!
And now he's gonna try to cram all of that missed sci-fi/fantasy in less than 48 hours, without suffering a brain hemorrhage.
So, nerd stuff. Yeah, nerd stuff. The stuff that makes me happy. The stuff that calms me down when all I really want to do is cram your head into a storm drain. I have an 8-month nerd stuff deficit. You were only gone 8 months. How much could you have missed? Oh, well, let's see. I missed another season of Black Mirror, Stranger Things, Luke Cage, the season finale of Game of Thrones, Warcraft, Doctor Strange, The Killing Joke, Arrival, Fantastic Beasts, Star Trek Beyond, and Rogue One! Rogue One! I missed a Star Wars movie! What about Suicide Squad? Fuck Suicide Squad!
And that's the short list! If we hadn't talked him out of a few things, Jason would have disappeared into his apartment on an entertainment binge that would have lasted months!
And that would have a downside. Just go stand in the corner, Fundy. I have got to get the viewing schedule down in my head or this will be a disaster. That's what these two guys have been helping me with. You have no idea what it's like to go into forums and have no idea what anybody's talking about. I mean, I manage a comic book store, Fundy. I literally have no idea what's going on. I have been binging all of my back comic books non-stop for a week.
Well, not non-stop. I mean, you've eaten and slept, right, Jason? You've eaten and slept. Jason, tell me that you took breaks to eat and sleep.
Sleep and food are luxuries for the weak at this point, Nancy. I am at a real disadvantage in the nerd world. My knowledge bank is 8 months old, and I'm not hip enough to pass it off as elitist snobbery. I must know what people are talking about. Well, I usually don't have any idea what people are talking about, but I don't let my ignorance of any given subject stop me from chucking in my 2 cents. Yup. Unless people are talking about the sweet, sweet love of Jesus, I usually just hear
He still doesn't believe that he's the historical basis of Jesus?
I know, weird, right? Either he's got some industrial strength denial going on, or he's dumber than we thought he was.
I am literally standing 3 feet away from you. Look, I don't care about Fundy's ability to live in a religious fiction narrative. I have more important things to think about. I've got hundreds of hours of entertainment to pack into my skull and a very limited amount of time to do it.
What's the rush? Just take your time and get caught up. How about you eat some carb-rich foods and take a nap before your heart stops?
If I sleep and eat, I'll never get caught up. I will be forever behind. I will sleep and eat when I'm dead.
Well, probably not eat.
Oh, wah, wah. Man, am I ever glad that I'm not a nerd like you. When we got Back to the Future, I just picked up where I left off. I just told all the members of the First Monstitarian Church to meet on Sunday in the blasted hole where the church used to be, and people showed up.
Well, yeah, nothing new has happened religion-wise in centuries.
That's not true. There's plenty of new and exciting things happening in Christianity all the time. Like what? New and exciting people to convert and exploit, new cultural behaviors to demonize, new sexual orientations to discriminate against? Exactly. No.
You gotta admit, Fundy, when it comes to most religions, they don't change much, if at all, and when they do, it takes them forever.
No, huh? Christianity changes all the time, like I said right just a couple seconds ago. No, it doesn't. It splits. If there's a flavor of religion, eventually one part of that group wants something different, and instead of religion changing, they just make a new one. You are so wrong. Look at the Catholic Church.
Ugh, do I have to?
Back in the day, they used to be murdering people all the time, and they practically ruled Europe. And they didn't believe in science stuff.
Oh, he's trailed off.
He's fantasizing about the good old days. Fundy, you were saying?
Oh yeah. Anyways, the Catholic Church don't do all that stuff now. See? Change. Suck it. Yeah, and how long did it take for it to change? I don't know, a couple of weeks or something? How should I know? I'm not Catholic.
It took centuries!
But it still changed.
But not before splintering into a million bajillion other denominations first!
Including yours, Fundy. Exactly, the right one. Anyways, I can't remember how we got around to talking about how awesome the First Monstitarian Church is. Do you guys remember?
You implied that there were new and exciting things happening in religion all the time.
And then did you guys say I was right and complimented me on how smart and cute I am?
No!
You sure? 'Cause I am looking real cute today.
I'm positive.
Look, Fundy, what new and exciting thing is happening in religion right now that compares to almost daily new and exciting things happening in nerd culture? Well, we kind of have a hate boner right now for Muslims. And by we, I mean Christians.
All Christians?
No, not all Christians. Just the ones that are smart enough to see that Islam is like the worst thing ever. The rest are all liberal doperinas that dream of a day when they get to have their heads chopped off by a Muslim, wizard.
They're not called wizards, they're called...
No, don't help him. If you help him, he just uses your help to hurt you. Yes, Fundy, Muslim leaders are called wizards, and Muslim religious leaders are called necromancers. Oh, so yeah, you politically correct liberals are just dreaming about being killed by necromancers and wizards.
Oh, we are not, and you're off topic.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Fundy, but Christians have had a hate boner for Muslims for a few centuries now. It's not new. Are you sure? I don't remember being afraid of Muslims back in the 1980s.
I'm positive. Anything else new going on with Christians?
Oh, sure, tons. Abortion for one. Let me guess. You guys are still against it. Yup. See? Nothing changes, Fundy. You guys pretty much hate the same things you've hated for the last 50 years and like the same things for just as long. Well, maybe that's good. It means we're consistent.
Consistently stupid?
No, AJ, it just means they're stagnating. And what's worse, they like it that way. No, we don't. We changing stuff. But if the changes are too much or just too weird, we kick you out. Or, in better times, burn you at the stake for being a devil or something. And besides, it's not like your nerd stuff changes all that much. Now you're talking crazy. Sci-fi and fantasy is changing all the time. Nerd culture is nothing like your stupid religion. Yeah? What nerd things did you like a million years ago as a stupid, filthy little kid? Star Trek, Star Wars, and comic books. And what do you like now? Star Wars, Star Trek, and comic books.
That's not the same and you know it!
Yeah, it's totally different. How? 'Cause now it's popular.
What do you guys think?
Are there other human institutions that tend towards stagnation and are resistant to change?
Is there a religion that changed radically without splintering into a bunch of other denominations? And are there pop cultural institutions that could use a good old kick in their giblies because they're just stagnating all over the place?
Comment down in the comments section, 'cause that's what it's there for.
Anyways, back to what's important. How cute I am? No, the schedule. In order to do this, I'll be watching 3 screens at once, and as soon as one TV series ends, another one begins. Why not just read about the plots and junk off the internet and pretend you watched them? Because that would be profane. I'm not some poser, Fundy. I have managed to avoid every spoiler for over 43 different shows and movies since we got back, and I'll be damned if I let the internet ruin them for me. I have stayed off the internet, and I have not watched TV for a week. I must watch all of these things now so my life can have some semblance of order, and I want to have it spoiler-free, you got it?
There are days that being your best friend is real difficult, you know that?
So wait. You mean you haven't had a single thing spoiled for you since you got back? No, I haven't. So you don't know that everybody dies in Rogue One? What? Yeah, me and Raul saw it last night. Everybody dies. And oh yeah, that Princess What's-Her-Face is in it, and Dark Pater or whoever he is, and he's got this awesome scene where he chops up a bunch of rebel guys with his red glowy stick. What? And apparently the Dead Star had a flaw built into it by the guy who was forced to design it by some guy named Grandma Tolkien, and he was the one who gave the plans to his daughter, who then gave them to a Princess Leotard, who's like in it at the very end of the movie. What?
Fundy, you can be a real asshole sometimes.
What did I do now? Hello, my fellow Opinion Villagers. Today is Friday, February 24th, 2017, and it's Forget-Me-Not Day, Girl Scout Cookie Weekend, Women in Blue Jeans Day, and World Bartender Day. Famous people celebrating their birthdays today are the Flying Dutchman baseball great Honus Wagner, the conniving techman overrated tech specialist Steve Jobs, and the actually dead now and actor man Abe Vigoda. And now on to your questions. First up, Blackie Comics asks, IQ for Dunderhead. I noticed the control panel buttons took on the shape of a dick. Was this intentional?
Intentional? No. The penile configuration for control panel layouts is well known to be the most optimal for spacecraft. Why, the gentlemen on Apollo 11 were literally surrounded by penises. For a later moon mission, they converted to the far less effective anal layout. That mission? Apollo 13.
Ansel DeLambert asks, intimate question for Puppet Jason. Which part of the SNL Spicer bit did you like best? The gum, the prop box, or the podium? My favorite part. Well, I think my favorite part is where Melissa McCarthy stops mid-sketch and begins to weep into her open hands because we're currently living in a fascist state and the leader of the free world has an IQ of a warm grapefruit. Yeah, I know I'm the only one that sees that, Mabel, but it's still my favorite part. Precambrian Lullaby asks, intimate question. Are you looking forward to the coming onslaught of questions that you will become less and less equipped to answer in full as time moves forward? What? Intimate question for Jesus. How are you going with adjusting to life 2,000 years ahead of where you grew up? The culture shock alone must be awful. Culture shock? Are you kidding? Back in my day, if you even said that a man looked handsome in public, you were stoned to death whether you were a man or a woman or a donkey. Now I have naked people having graphic, erotic, free sex on just about every single, video screen I can see. I mean, we had sex 2,000 years ago. Kinky, raw, nasty sex. Made even hotter because if you were ever caught, it was stoning time. I kinda wish there was that kind of threat now, you know, for the hotness. But Gary says that if the country keeps going the way it is, stoning people is right around the corner. Banana Frampton asks, intimate question for Jason. Judging by the trajectory of our political social climate, do you think we will follow the Star Trek timeline and have first contact with the Vulcans in the late 21st century? If we have the same social political structure 100 years from now that we have now, the Vulcans won't initiate first contact. We'll be lucky if they don't bomb the planet flat from orbit. That's it this time around. Remember, if you have a question you want to ask Intimate Questions, leave it down below in the comments section. Until next time, my premium pandas, this has been Jason with a D. Oh, Trudeau here with even more suggestions from viewers like you. That's right, I'm back, motherfuckers. So this segment's going to be a little bit different than what it used to be. Back in the past, it used to be suggestions for what you could have done instead of watching YouTube. Now we're opening it up so you can make suggestions about anything. The show, YouTube,
your personal life, politics, make a suggestion and I might read it right here. Anyway, let's get started. The real Paul Marshall says, instead of watching this, I could have been surrendering to the temptation to ask Jason how much he would charge to construct a Donald J. Trump puppet that I could then send to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C. 20500-004. Did you just drop the President of the United States, RPM? Maybe the President doesn't want people to know his home address. Sure, I hate his politics, but that doesn't mean you should be able to jeopardize his safety just because of some stuff he said on the internet. Brian Axness says, great work on the saga. Instead of watching this, I could have finished the novel I'm working on. It's about a group of misfit friends that have to travel back in time to stop a fanatic from changing the timeline. Wait, is this the Opinion-Ville comment section? Please disregard this comment. Can you get our lawyers on the phone, please, Mabel? What do you mean our lawyers are in jail? Sick of Washington says, instead of watching YouTube, I could have spent the time completing my master plan of subjugating this planet along with all of its inhabitants in order to command all of my enslaved populace to subscribe to Opinion-Ville. While I applaud your dedication to this channel, I cannot condone the whole world slavery thing. Unless I'm one of the overseers. Can I be in charge of electronic arts? I'm willing to bet that after a few whips of the lash, those money-grubbing motherfuckers will create a game worth playing instead of a game-like thing that is locked behind 1,000 pay gates and DLCs. You know what? Fuck it, yes! Enslave the world, sick of Washington! Together we'll have a hit YouTube show and good video games! The human suffering at our hands will be totally worth it! Everybody, it's me, Oswald, here with my bestest friend who's flat to the end, Name Frame. Say hi, Name Frame.
Hi, everybody.
And here we're gonna do shoutouts again, just like we used to. Good old-fashioned shoutouts. So lay them names on my name.
I wish I could, but we don't have any.
What are you talking about we don't have any? We get tons of them. People with stupid goofy names like Cannibal123 and Hey, I love my alphabet soup and everybody's favorite cuss word expletive cuck man baby magina thing 157 Naruto. That's a very popular name.
We haven't gotten any. And also, because of the way, Google's set up, a lot of people are just using their actual names.
Get out of town.
No, they're using their real names.
You mean like Bob Johnson? Nancy, boring name? Stu, oh my god, my name is so boring I want to jump off a bridge?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Well, that's stupid.
And besides which, we need to collect some names to shout out, so we're gonna go through the history of people who subscribed.
Okay.
Also, did you hear about the glitch?
Is that like the Grinch's brother, the Glitch? And, he steals, Ash Wednesday?
No. The glitch, the YouTube glitch.
What YouTube glitch?
The YouTube glitch where if someone subs, it actually takes subs away.
So if someone subs to the channel, they take away subs?
Yeah.
What kind of stupid idiots work at YouTube where they can't even do simple math?
You got me, but, so if we're asking for people to sub, we might be asking for trouble.
Well, my name is Trouble. That's spelled T, R sound, bubble. Trebubble, that's me.
That's you all over.
Hey everybody, it's me, Oswald. And I'm here to tell you about... Are you crazy? Just read it. I'm here to tell you about another podcast that Jason is making called 3-4 Advent... You're making another podcast, what is that, 4? Yeah, something like that. 4 podcasts. Yes. And this show. Yes. You barely have any time for me. Am I going to get my own podcast? That would be problematic at best. Explain that. Explain the word problematic.
Well, you can't really stay on topic, and I don't think you can sustain the attention span required to do a whole hour show.
Podcasts are an hour?
You've never listened to any of my podcasts?
What did I say before?
You said yes.
Oh yeah, I listen to them all the time. 1 whole hour of listening, because that's something I can do. Anyway, am I going to get a podcast?
We'll talk about it.
Oh good. You want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hey everybody, Jason has a brand new podcast and it's called 3-4 Adventure, a Pathfinder podcast that he's making with his friend Angus and Matt and Scarce Coherence, and it's where they play D&D, and it's a podcast.
What? We play D&D. You see, we do a live show on a very public spanking of, and then I've turned it into a serialized podcast adventure Pathfinder. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not looking at you anyway.
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm just looking at a gigantic nerd with way too much time on his hands, who maybe should be spending more time having big life adventures with his favorite little blue furry buddy.
Anyway, could you tell him about it?
Anyway, go to Lemme Listen. www.lemmelistenpodcast.com is there. Also, you can find it on SoundCloud. It's called 3-4 Adventure. It says here that it's funny, and you should probably listen to it. How about after this we go ride bikes?
You don't know how to ride a bike.
I mean, watch you ride a bike.
That sounds boring.
Okay, ride me on a bike.
Okay.
To the ice cream shop.
There's an ice cream shop in town?
It's what I'm calling it. All the stores downtown know they better have ice cream in it so that if I walk into any store, boom, I get ice cream. Otherwise, bad things happen.
We've gone on a weird tangent.
Shut up, I'm thinking about ice cream.